has came out of the steering rack right here. That angle from the spindle right here to the steering rack, you'll just get your steering rack out the way. Yeah. And because this thing is bent just out of shape here, it's causing the issue that you've seen. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Do you have problems with the steering on your Club Car DS? Could be why right here. So my knuckle has came out of the steering rack right here, and you can see how it goes back. That's not the way that's supposed to be. Then of course, this is not the way this is supposed to be either. So we're gonna jump into getting this off, get us a new one. Got it waiting there. You're gonna watch all the fun happen, guys. While you're in here checking this out, like I've noticed that we have missing bushings right here, and the ones down here are pretty much tore up as well. You definitely gonna want to replace those because that'll help tighten the suspension up some, take away a lot of the play that the cart, when the cart's moving, it'll feel like it's trying to do this and that. That'll take a lot of that out. Just keep that in mind, guys. Alright guys, one thing to note here is that you do not need to take the tie rod all the way off. You need to take this whole sleeve off because you will need it for the new rack. Disassemble the sleeve between the actual steering rod and the top of the rack itself. Probably just slip this one out if you got enough room. Slip this one up, that one down, and it'll come out the way. 2, 3 bolts in the rack, I believe it is. Let's check the one in the plastic. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So those 3 right there, hold that in, out the way it goes. Put the new rack in. Slip your joint, steering joint back in. Tighten that all up. Put it all back together, and then you probably will have to do some alignment deals here. So, alright guys, so there you go. When you slip all 3 bolts out of the steering rack itself, you can get your steering knuckle right off, and there it is. Lay that to the side. You'll need that again. You'll just get your steering rack out the way. Yeah. Get your I put this little protective jacket over the splines. You want to get that out the way. Slip our little joint back on. Okay, so as I was trying to get this reinstalled, and I was going to bring you guys back and tell you, here it is, it was that simple to get back installed, I have noticed that I cannot go any farther to where this needs to go. Now I can take this out all day long, and it's still, that's off. I can bring that there. Look at that angle. So I got to looking. It's going to be really hard to see because it is bent just enough. The delta plate in here, this piece that comes up and holds the steering rack, it is bent towards, it is bent towards the bumper just enough to keep this whole rack, the entire rack, from being in line where the tie rod goes on the spindle. So we got to back all this back up, take that back out, get us a delta plate in here, and make this right. So stay tuned, guys. Don't know if you guys can see that, but it's bent right through here. Right through there. So this is what you call your delta plate. our rack is bolted right there. And because this thing is bent just out of shape here, it's causing the issue that you seen earlier with not matching up to the spindle on the golf cart. Alright guys, so when I put my arms back to my Delta plate, this is the new one, the one that's not bent, getting it prepped to go into the cart. Well, we come across all these broken bushings tore up. You can see all the pieces, and they just kind of crumble apart too. Like there's just nothing left of them. So we had to put new ones on there, all your pivot points. And now we're gonna put it back in the cart. Alright, got all our stuff back in. New rack, Delta plate, got our shocks reassembled, got our bushings put back in, everything, got our spindles reattached, got our lower leaf spring put back together. Only thing I got left is to tighten up the bolts in the steering joints, and then you can already tell that from that angle from the spindle right here to the steering rack is pretty much straight in line. Before, it was coming out this way, and that would have never got over here properly without breaking again. So gonna be a happy driver when we're done here. We're gonna get this thing finished up, guys. Well, there it is, all put back together, wheels and tires back on it. Turns perfectly in both directions, left and right, and should have a very happy golf cart now. Now just to finish up all the tiny little details that I got to do, and this will be a completed job. We'll take it for a spin when I get her done. Alright guys, so if you have any steering problems going on with your club car, be sure you check the Delta plate, your bushings, your A-arms, your pivot points, your tie rod ends, everything you can up under the front end, because it could come down to being as simple as your Delta plate being bent or something like that. In this case, you've seen we had the Delta plate bent, so it's causing the issue with the steering box. So as always guys, hit that like button, comment, subscribe for us. If you got any questions, please feel free to ask or call. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching.